Greetings, this is Boston G.B.R. in Valdosta, Georgia, in front of New Life Ministries, wherein people from the community have come for a tribute, a fundraising, if you will, to support the Kendrick Johnson's family in their efforts to seek justice. And let me continue by saying that, in conclusion here, is that I started out with this the night of the notification of the family that they had found Kendrick Johnson's body, and the father called me about 11 o'clock, 11:15, and I went over to his house, and we talked, and that's what got me involved then. So I'm here because I want something to change here in Valdosta and Lowndes County. As a result of the father and mother and their family pursuing this incident, be it an accident or homicide, at least they wanted to put forth some effort to try and find the truth. Because too often we all know here in South Georgia that too many blacks have died, many we know was murdered, nothing was done about it. This have been proven. In 1918, 15 to 25 blacks were murdered outright. The governor of the state of Georgia then were furnished names of white mob members that murdered these people, yet no one was brought before the Georgia Bar of Justice. It's just that simple. We also know that Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail have had 31 jail deaths from 1994 to 2009. And from 2009 to 2013, no one knows how many jail deaths. And we don't have a newspaper or a magazine or a television station or elected official in South Georgia or in North Florida or in the capital of the state of Georgia who would even ask a question, why is a little city like Valdosta and Lowndes County leading the state of Georgia, the Peach State, in jail deaths? It is as if though we don't have any free press that are independent of political parties that do what someone wants them to do and nothing else. In Quitman, in Brooks County, they arrested 10+2, now called Quitman 10+2, for alleged voter fraud. But when there was irregularities found at the Brooks County Board of Elections and complaints were filed with the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, and his investigator came out of Macon by the name of Glenn Austin, a DVD was furnished to him, a statement, signed statement, and complaints. And today the people in Brooks County are calling me, asking me, George, did the Secretary of State ever get back with you or the Free Press or the Thomasville Times to give us an answer on the conditions of the voting irregularities in Brooks County? My answer is no. When I was picked up for criminal trespass violations, banned from a high school and public meeting here in Lowndes County by the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office, nobody seems to be interested in our rights, And so all of this ties in with the Kendrick Johnson's case. In this regard, it seems as if though South Georgia operates on their own set of laws. But I can't resolve it all. Let's go inside and let's see what's going on here today. Excuse me for talking so long, but this concerns me because There is so much stuff going on down here in South Georgia. We can't find a Oprah Winfrey or Jesse Jackson. Oh, Al Sharpton came one evening. He stayed for about 20 minutes. But we've been suffering down here for 20 to 40 years. The city school system was under a court order by the Department of Justice for about 50 years. And to my knowledge, nothing has changed. Most all the employees at the top echelon at our local school system are white. Now, white don't make it right, and black don't make it right. But right always make it right. And that's all we ask, is that it be done right. So let's go inside of New Life Ministries and let's see what they're doing. And we'll definitely keep you informed. Because if there's no TV stations or no newspapers here, hey, guess what? Boston G.B.R. on YouTube is here. Let's go inside.
That's my boy. Amen. And if anybody has an announcement that you need announced, you can go ahead and give it to them. Because right before we get ready to go into the second part, we'll make your announcement. Amen. But anything that your church has, because it just told me that. And I mean, I really give God glory how the people come together for the Johnson family. They just told me that they got a rally going on next week for the Johnson family. So guys, y'all, somebody loves y'all. Amen. Come on, y'all, and give it up for them one more time. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Come on, y'all, give it up for Christian love one more time. Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. Can we get y'all to hang back and praise one more time? Come on, you can do better than that. How many know that every praise belongs to our God? How many know every praise belongs to our God? Just look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't know about you, but I got a praise on the inside, and I just got to get it out. Say, somebody in here, give God a great big hand clap of praise. Come on,
wrong, but you can't hide. Because the truth will eventually come out, is that right? Through the storm that God gave me, how many know God been good to you? Let me see you wave your hand all over the building. Know God been good to you. Real quick, the church name said, neighbor. I don't know about you, but now through the years, God been good to me. Now give God some praise right now. Mark. Every day of my life, thank you. Can I get a witness? Every day of my life, I thank you. Sometimes I gotta tell it in a loud voice. Yeah.
going to say one more time to the musicians, we need y'all over here, ready when we call y'all group, amen? Don't get mad on me, but these folks nice enough to open these doors, to let us in. We don't want to hold them all night, amen? So again, y'all know about the attitude. I'm going to tell you what's real. Musicians, in place, amen?
In an allegorical setting. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action, at the risk of his own life, above and beyond the normal call of duty, somewhere in the Middle East, near a place called Calvary, a soldier stepped out on the battlefield of time, traveling from time into eternity, fighting with the sword called justice. At his birth, insurgents were sent out to seek the unknown and were met by wise men who had been thoroughly trained in all manner of military maneuvers, such as espionage, sabotage, and subversion, thereby being able to break every code of the enemy and maintain the secrecy of the mission. These wise men later operated under a shadow commander, known at the time as a little child, whose mission was codenamed Everlasting Life. On the battlefield of time, he worked his way through the ranks, say 42 generations, but was falsely accused and abused by the enemy. But because of his importunity, he continued to fight with the sword of justice. He told the commanding officer of the enemy forces how his life and that of his comrades could be saved. But they laughed him to scorn and said, "We have power to kill and let live." He allowed the enemy to carry him away captive, but he kept faith in his fellow comrades. Though captured and laughed to scorn, he never relinquished his weapons. When he arrived at the spot called the Place of Skull, he stood bravely though surrounded by the enemy and thought of the training he had received from his commanding officer, and he was not afraid. The enemy placed him on a platform and took his garments, which consisted of a royal robe given him by his commanding officer. By mere strength, bravery, and some unknown ghost to some, he withstood the pain of nails being driven into his flesh. He was looked down on as a soldier, accused of being a devil and degraded as a man. Yet he never deserted nor surrendered to the enemy. As he was suffering and dying, he yelled out to his father, "Forgive them." Then he bowed his head and gave up the ghost and said, "It is finished." The man in charge of the execution wrote a title above his head in 3 different languages: Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, which may have been classified at the time, but has since been downgraded for everyone that will accept it. This great soldier was rejected, tortured, betrayed, lied on, brought to trial without a hearing, and sentenced to death for a crime he did not commit. Willingly, he gave his life for the wrongs of the world, which was above and beyond the normal call of duty. But he never received a Medal of Honor. He was wounded many times, but he never received the Purple Heart. He was the greatest pilot the world has ever known. He even flew himself into his father's house and sat down on the right hand of the master pilot, but he never received the Flying Cross. He was placed in a borrowed tomb and arose on the 3rd day. But we have omitted his name from among the world renowned upon this planet. He was a doctor, we refused to make an appointment with him. He was a king, but instead of us giving him a crown of gold, we gave him a crown of thorns. He came through 42 generations to abolish the sins of the world. Yet he was rejected and despised by members of his own. And as he hung on the platform of time, we should have placed spices and gifts in his hand. Instead, we drove nails through his hand. He walked more than 72 miles to preach the gospel. And instead of us giving him a new pair of shoes, we drove spikes through his feet. He was a soldier that loved mankind. And after his death, we should have considered a heart transplant. Instead, we pierced him through his heart. This great soldier was not an electric clock, but on the battlefield, he kept good time. He was not a nuclear bomb, but his power was devastating. He was not the ringleader of Watergate, but he spoke of a heavenly gate. He was not an MX nor a cruise missile, but his love has cruised the world over. He was not sought out by the vampire world, yet his blood was good to the last drop. This brave, outstanding soldier lived as an angel, died as a thief, and rose to be the mayor of mayors, governor of governors, president of presidents, master of masters, king of kings, and will be crowned Lord of all. For his gallantry and heroic action, above and beyond the normal call of duty, we never presented him with the Medal of Honor, nor the Flying Cross, not even a service medal. But today we as a people should recognize him as a king of kings, master of masters, supreme and everlasting comrade, beyond the wisest man's comprehension, and truly the Son of God. For his ways were not our ways, and his thoughts were not our thoughts. No, there is no metal nor precious stone we can give a soldier of such royal value, but we can pay tribute by living holy before him, which is our reasonable service. No end, but one soon to come.
I'm George Valdosta-Lowndes, former president of the local NAACP, as well as community activist. It is 2013, and we at Rivers Radio have made one resolution. We resolved to find Juan Gotti's murderer. We are rapidly approaching the 1-year anniversary of the cold and calculated murder of Juan Gotti. Gotti was taken from us by the horrific act of murder that one or more of you know something about. It is time to step up and bring closure to Gotti's wife and children. It is immoral and illegal to conceal facts of a crime. If it was your family suffering from lack of closure, Gotti would personally lead the charge to find the murderer. It is time to do the right thing. Call law enforcement. I repeat, call law enforcement. Get justice for Gotti and peace for his family. Join us, Juan Gotti's radio family, at the Juan Gotti Studios, known to some as WGOV, home of the gospel giant Herman Smith Sr. On I'm George Rhymes, former president of the local NAACP, community activist, blogger, and YouTuber. It is 2013, and we at Rivers Radio have made one resolution. We resolved to find Warren Gotti murdered. We are rapidly approaching the one-year anniversary of the cold and calculated murder of Warren Gotti. Gotti was taken from us all by the horrific act of murder that one or more of you know or know something about. It is time to step up and bring closure to Gotti's wife and family. It is immoral, it is illegal, and it is ungodly to conceal the facts of a crime. If it was your family suffering from lack of closure, Gotti would personally lead the charge to find the murderer. It is time to do the right thing. Call law enforcement. Let me repeat. Call law enforcement. Get justice for Gotti and peace for his family. Join us, Warren Gotti's family, at the Warren Gotti's radio station. We will be gathered on Highway 84 West in Valdosta, Georgia, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday, January 21st, 2013. 1 year anniversary of Warren Gotti's murder. Help us plant a tree, light a candle, and say a prayer. I'm George Rhymes.